Many people who come to work with me, both native and non-native speakers, come partly out of a fear of being alienated, or a fear of alienation. They fear that they will be treated like an outsider in their group because of the differences in their pronunciation, or they feel that they'll lose their place in their group because of the differences in their pronunciation. And it's very understandable, because in a way differences in accent are sort of a tribal thing. And in fact, there's a very well-known linguist called David Crystal who talks about this, and he's quoted in a book called Cambridge Academic English. And he says, if it's the same accent, then it's probably part of the same tribe, and it's probably safe to come out of your cave. But if the grunt that comes back at you is one that you don't recognize, then if you do go out, maybe you take a club with you, because it might be someone from a different tribe and they may be trying to take over your cave. You know, these are very real things, and one would hope that modern society is moving towards much more of an embracing attitude, but nonetheless they trigger these fears in us about, you know, how we cope and survive in our local communities. I guess, you know, when you do work on your pronunciation and you do work on changing or modifying your pronunciation, part of the challenge is that the pronunciation is part of our identity, you know, when people want to reduce their accent or take away their accent, there's a fear that they will somehow be losing their identity, or that they'll be fake in some way. So that's a second fear that people come to me with. And I recently read a blog post by a lady called Judy Gilbert, who's a very well-known teacher of American English pronunciation. She's a bit of an authority, and she talks about replacing the name accent reduction, which she thinks is a bit like sort of stain removal, to the term accent addition. And she says that accent addition is much more about learning a new code that is the code of your local community. So if you're in your home community, then it's not so much of a problem. But if you're in this new community and you're trying to look for a job, or you're trying to get a promotion, or you're just going to the shop and you want to buy something, then it's pretty handy to know how to be clear. And so it's a practical thing. So instead of it being about that there is a right way and a wrong way, or that you're correcting any errors in your pronunciation, that it's more about learning this new code that you can use in order to avoid these breakdowns in communication. So that might be a way of looking at it, that you're not so much reducing your accent, but that you're adding to it. You're having an accent addition. You're learning this new code, so that when you work on your pronunciation, it's not like having a personality transplant, but that you're learning this new code that you can use when you need to, and it'll help you to feel more part of the community that you're living in. So look, if you're watching this video anywhere else other than my website, then head over there. It's englishpronunciationroadmap.com. There's loads of free stuff. There's a load of more blog videos that you can have a look at. Please go down to the bottom of the page and leave me some sort of reaction, a thumbs up or a thumbs down or a comment. Just give me some sort of response, and I'll speak to you soon.